everybody. This is Vivian Green, and you know I got soul.
All right, Vivian, so a new album, Vivid, is coming out later this summer. Was reading that's a new, brighter, more up-tempo direction for you. What led you in that direction?
Working with Kwame led me in that direction of a brighter, more up-tempo sound. But the entire album isn't up-tempo. I don't want anybody to think that. But the music, it just has so much more energy than any of my previous music. It's full of life, and it's just different from everything else I've done before. I know artists always say that, oh, this album is completely different than the last one. But this one really is. But the good part about it is that the album is not gimmicky, it's not trendy. I'm not trying to be, a 19-year-old kid. I'm still totally appealing to my audience, and I just think my music needed a breath of fresh air. I needed a burst of energy to really reintroduce me to a lot of people who think I haven't released music since 2005. Though I have released 2 albums since then, there's like a whole demographic of fans that just were not aware of me being present since 2005, 2006. So I felt like I needed something to grab their attention, and I definitely think the lead single is that, and the way people are responding to it is in such a positive way. I'm so excited. It just feels different. I haven't felt this way since the early 2000s. So I'm really excited about it because people are responding to this different sound that I'm putting out, but in a positive way.
Cool. Yeah. And you mentioned the first single, Get Right Back to My Baby. Kwame produced it for you.
Yes.
I was reading something interesting, and he told us a story. You were kind of fighting with him a little bit on recording it initially. So what was the process like of doing that song?
Yeah, Get Right Back to My Baby, produced by Kwame. The whole album is actually produced by Kwame. We definitely fought about it. I wasn't into singing over the sample. I didn't think it was me. I had never done anything like that before, and I guess I was afraid of it in a way, I guess. And he's like, well, listen, you have so much personality. You're funny, you're fun. You crack jokes. There's so many sides of you that people don't know. And people just assume that you're the sad girl who sings the sad songs, and that's not true. So you have to show people something else, especially if you want to wake these fans up. We have to give them something different. So just give it a try. We fought about it, and eventually the song was made and written, and the rest is history. But it definitely wasn't an easy process. Not the entire album wasn't an easy process, actually. The whole thing was difficult.
Was it really just trying to step out of your comfort zone, out of the box, or what made it so difficult?
It was stepping out of my comfort zone, definitely, or more so stepping out of the box that people put me in. Sometimes you find yourself in a box that you didn't put yourself in, and then you get comfortable there. But I definitely needed to step out because there's so much more to me than that box, and Kwame saw that, and he wanted to bring it out in a way that it hasn't been brought out before. And no disrespect to any of my previous music. I love all my albums, even the ones that no one knows about. I put my heart into everything that I do. So this is just a new baby, and this baby is different from the others. It's very much a reflection of me, of different sides of me that people just haven't seen yet. So, and I think the video is a great visual of that fun, playful side. I'm just excited about it, and it just feels good that we've only been the record has only been officially released for about a month now, and it's just a different feeling in the air than what has been previously in the last two albums. So I'm excited.
Nice.
Very excited.
So speaking of Kwame, you've signed with his Make Noise label through a partnership with Caroline Records. Talk about how you knew this was the right situation for you now, coming off of a couple albums on E1 and your guys' chemistry.
Yeah. Well, I had the 2 commitments to E1, and then I was a free agent. And there were some options. Kwame and I had pretty much made the majority of the album, and we shopped the album as a whole, to get a deal, to get a new deal for me. But in the process of that, he was offered the label situation, and it just felt right. It just felt like the right thing to do. I love the people at Caroline. They were really excited about the new music and the energy of the new music. They were just excited as we were. So it just seemed like the perfect partnership with Kwame and Caroline. And then the access to capital is great as well, because it allows us to get the awareness and out there like it has not been, and it allows us to get to radio and do the things that you do on a major label without really being on a major label. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, and I really I trust Kwame in so many ways. He's a true veteran. He's been around since 1989, and he's still thriving. He's worn so many hats, from artist, producer, composer, movie scorer, and I trust him, and I respect his hustle and the longevity that he's had in the business, and I'm honored to be a part of this journey with him. So.
And speaking of that impact on radio, we can definitely feel that right now. Get Right Back to My Baby is moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we were happy to be originally approached to feature the song on the site initially, so we really appreciate you and Kwame for allowing us to do that a while back.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, because Kwame threw the record out there last summer just as a buzz record to see what the reception would be. He wanted to know how the fans and the public would respond to a new sound, so he just threw Get Right Back to My Baby out there. He didn't even tell me. And YouKnowIGotSoul was the first outlet to post it. So, we love you guys, and you've always shown me support, through my entire career. So I love that. And you were a part of the story from the very beginning. And here I am. Get Right Back to My Baby is on the charts now. We were most added to UAC Radio about a month ago. We're in the top 20, hopefully going to crack into the top 15 and so on and so forth. And the story of this record is just exciting, and people are really getting energized about it, and it feels so good.
It's awesome. Glad to support, and so happy for your success. We'll always be here to support you.
Thank you.
For the last part of the interview, just want to touch on a few things from your history in music. I was reading doing some research, reading your bio, your updated one, and I noticed you had an initial situation when you were a teenager with Columbia Rough House, and your parents kind of strayed you away from that. How did that go?
Yeah, I had I used to be managed by Michael McCary from Boyz II Men. At that time, I was still in high school, just into high school actually, and we recorded a lot, and this situation came up with Chris Schwartz, who was the then president of Rough House Columbia. They had the Fugees, Cypress Hill, Criss Cross. They were a very successful label at that time in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, and Michael had a relationship with them, and I sang at Chris's house at some party at the piano, and he was ready to do the deal. But yeah, my parents, they weren't feeling it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have my album. I'm still in high school, and then like all my dreams were. But my parents love me a whole lot, and I love them. And rest in peace to my father, Steve Green. And they just didn't think that I was ready at that time,
Right.
And I respect that. As a parent now, I respect that 20 times more than I did then.
Right.
You make the best decisions for your kids, and they just felt like I wasn't ready, and they wanted me to be a kid for a little while longer. Right. But I continued to write. That's how I landed my first publishing credit and first plaque on my wall ever was from Boyz II Men's Evolution album, a song I wrote called Dear God for them when I was 16, still in high school. And that's how that happened. That relationship with them was like in their studio as a teenager. That's what I did like every day after school. So some really cool things came of that. I was able to work on Britney Spears' demo before she signed to Jive, and I was just doing a lot of writing, writing songs and nurturing my craft at that time. I was still very young, and he wanted me to write as much as I could and record as much as I could to grow and see, who I wanted to be as an artist. So that was like such an important time in my life. Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
And then one other thing from back then, I was reading that you created your demo originally with Eric Roberson, and he helped you. And we know the great work you've done with him through the years, but I didn't realize he was with you, helping you out back then. So talk about that,
oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Because I think people, there's like this story, because I used to sing background for Jill Scott, which was great and wonderful and fabulous. And there's this story, a grapevine story, where like somebody, a Sony executive saw me at one of her concerts and said, "Oh, going to instantly sign her right now. I was like, that never happened. That never happened. I was simply a background singer, you know. I didn't get signed because of it. But Eric Roberson worked with me on my demo tape that did include, I guess, almost half of the songs from my first record. We met working with a producer called Malik Pendleton, who produced 7 Days for Mary J. Blige. He produced for Heather Headley and Darius Rucker as well. I was working with him at the time that I met Eric. And that's how I met Eric, through Malik. And we just totally clicked, and he like adopted me as his baby sister, you know. And he was like, I really believe in you. I know you had this situation when you were younger, but you're going to get another situation. I'm telling you, I'm going to help you. And he was wonderful. He helped me. I made the whole demo at his home, and in his home studio in Jersey. And, you know, and that's what went to Sony Music, you know. And
So cool.
that's why you guys know who I am today, because of Eric. I love him so much. I sang at his wedding, you know. I love his wife. We just have a really great relationship, and just period, outside of music, he's just somebody that I really love and appreciate for who he's been in my life. So, and I'm so happy for his success. Like, oh my God, he's so famous now.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I 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 want it to continue on and on and on.
That's awesome.
So,
Great
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So that's all we had. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I just want to again just reiterate that I am so excited about Vivid, and I hope you guys get it and just understand and embrace the energy of it, because it's different, but it's still so me. It's still so soulful. It's still so musical, and it still has messages, the constant messages that I've had throughout my whole career, messages of empowerment, love, loss, self-love. It's just interpreted in a different way. And I want to say again that it's not gimmicky, it's not trendy. I'm not trying to be 19. I'm not popping and dropping it like it's hot. It's not that. It's still grown and sexy. It's just a different approach to music that is still very much soul R&B music. So I just really hope people get it and live with it. You know, live with it, run to it, clean to it, drive to it. You know, just live with it. I really love this album, and I just hope that you guys love it too. So thank you.
Awesome.